Good morning, viewer. Bienvenue. It's a most amazing news for our viewers. Yeah, researchers at the Helmholtz Zentrum, Dresden, Rosendorf, and the University of Latvia have proposed the first comprehensive physical explanations for the sun's various activity cycles. They identify vortex-shaped currents on the sun, known as Rossby waves, as mediators between the tidal influences of Venus, Earth, and Jupiter and the sun's magnetic activity. This research presents a consistent model for solar cycles of different lengths and others a strong argument supporting the previously controversial planetary hypothesis. The findings have been published in the journal Solar Physics. Although the sun, being near to us, is the best researched, many questions about its physics have not yet been completely answered. These include the rhythmic fluctuation in solar activity. The most famous of these is that on average the sun reaches a radiation maximum every 11 years, which experts refer to as the Suave cycle. Yeah, this cycle of activity occurs because the sun's magnetic field changes during this period and eventually reverses polarity. This in itself is not unusual for a star if it were not for the fact that the Suave cycle is remarkably stable. Yeah, the Suave cycle is overlaid by others, less obvious fluctuations in activity ranging from a few hundred days to several hundred years, each named after their discoverers. Although there have already been various attempts to explain these cycles and mathematical calculations too. Yeah, there is still no comprehensive physical model. For some years, Dr. Frank Stefani of HZDRS Institute of Fluid Dynamics has been an advocate of the planetary hypothesis because it is clear that the planet's gravity exerts a tidal effect on the sun, similar to that of moon on the earth. This effect is strongest every 11.07 years. Whenever the three planets Venus, Earth, and Jupiter are aligned with the sun in a particularly striking line, comparable to a spring tide on Earth when there is a new or full moon, this coincides conspicuously with the Suave cycle. The sun's magnetic field is formed by complex movements of the electrically conducting plasma inside the sun. You can think of it like a gigantic dynamo. While this solar dynamo generates an approximately 11-year activity cycle in its own right, we think the planet's influence then intervenes in the working of the dynamo, repeatedly giving it a little push and thus forcing the unusually stable 11.07 years rhythm on the sun, Stephanie explains. Behind this exclusive report.